Hi, I'm Senator Tom Harkin. Right now, responsible leaders in Washington are trying hard to find a compromise to fund the government through the end of the year. Regrettably, Republicans in the House are still threatening to throw a temper tantrum and shut down the government tomorrow if they don't get their way. Speaker Boehner received an ovation from the Republican caucus when he told them he had directed officials to prepare for a shutdown. This is not the way Iowans want their government to work, and I remain hopeful that reason will prevail. But frankly, I'm even more disturbed by the extreme Tea Party budget that Republicans put forward on Tuesday of this week. Make no mistake, this budget proposal is not about deficit reduction. It's just about ideology. It's about the Tea Party Republicans seizing on the budget crisis as a pretext for ramming through their long-standing policy wish list. They take a meat axe to programs for the middle class, everything from education to health care to veterans benefits. They propose to dismantle the economic safety net, including Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. Yet they have the audacity to demand yet another tax break bonanza for large corporations and wealthy individuals, including a full continuation of all the tax breaks that the wealthy got in 2001, at a time when the government was running huge surpluses. To put this in context, just 4 months ago, the Tea Party Republicans demanded and got an extension of the Bush tax cuts, which will add a whopping $354 billion to the deficit this year, even more next year. They voted in the House to repeal the health reform law, which will add another $230 billion to the deficit over the next decade. Now, in this new budget, they're dramatically cutting the top tax rate for large corporations and wealthy individuals from 35% down to 25%, at the same time that they shred the social contract that says we should prepare our young and care for our elderly. Yet these very same Republicans claim to be worried about the deficit. Well, nobody's getting fooled. This is the same old game plan of the GOP. Give huge, unaffordable tax cuts to large corporations and the wealthy, and give budget cuts to the middle class and the most vulnerable people in our society, including seniors and people with disabilities. This Tea Party budget is an unprecedented assault on the middle class of America, who are already struggling to make ends meet. I'm especially concerned about its devastating impact on seniors across Iowa, as well as people with disabilities. This GOP plan would eliminate Medicare and replace it with a private voucher program. It would require future seniors to pay higher premiums and out-of-pocket costs. It will end their guaranteed health benefits. This budget would reopen their prescription drug donut hole, which would require Iowa seniors would have to pay an additional $3,600 out of pocket every year. It could force at least 115,000 Iowans off of Medicaid, including seniors in nursing homes and people who depend on home health aides. And the GOP plan also calls for deep cuts in Social Security. All of this makes a mockery of the idea of shared sacrifice. Indeed, the wealthy are exempt from making any contribution to reducing the deficit. It wasn't enough to bail out the bankers whose reckless greed created the Great Recession and blew up the budget. Now Republicans are demanding that we slash programs for working Americans and seniors so that Wall Street can get another giant tax cut. Iowans will not stand for this unwise and unbalanced and unfair assault on their economic security and way of life. I intend to oppose these grossly misguided policies in every way I can, and I certainly will not be alone.